Right then, this is a walk around video for a Honda CR-V. It's a 1.6 EX diesel and it's the automatic version. Finished in this beautiful twilight blue metallic. Looks fantastic on the car, especially in the flesh actually. And with the contrasting and really sought after ivory leather interior, which looks absolutely stunning in the car. It's done 66,000 miles, benefits from a wonderful service history and has been beautifully looked after. Front of the car, really clean, no cracks or condensations in the lights at all. Bumpers very clean. Likewise, bonnet of the car. I mean, I can't see a stone chip of any note on there at all. Near side, the passenger side, absolutely mirror smooth in the panel work. Near side front alloy, the one that generally takes all of the bashing, shows no marks on it at all. Panel work is exceptionally clean. Offside rear alloy, again, completely unmarked. Coming around the back, and bumper corners all very clean. Going to the offside, driver's side of the car. Again, absolutely wonderfully clean, it's just mirror smooth. Offside rear alloy, again, blemish free. Remaining panel work, absolutely superb. And final alloy, again, wonderfully clean, and it really is in fabulous condition for the age and mileage of the car. Not to say, as I always say, there will be the odd tiny little mark which I may have missed, but I do try and pick up on what I can. Coming to the back of the car now, obviously electric tailgate works perfectly, gives you access to this enormous boot, which has been kept absolutely beautifully. Coming to the back now, wide opening rear doors, enormous amounts of rear legroom in the car, and you've got this beautiful interior. It looks absolutely stunning on the car. Coming to the front on the passenger side, again door cards lovely and clean, likewise footwell areas and a passenger seat there which has seen minimal use. It's in absolutely beautiful condition there. Finally coming on the driver's side, again door card absolutely unmarked. Footwell areas again lovely and clean. Car benefits from what looks like a very recent set of mats, actually they're very clean indeed. And driver's seat again in fantastic condition. So inside the car now, dashboard illuminated with the engine running, so always try and do. It looks pretty much as new, the dashboard in all honesty. Sat nav, as you can see, working absolutely perfectly. Pop the car into reverse here, you have that lovely gridded parking camera, all working exactly as it should. It's been kept absolutely beautifully. Then up to the binnacle, pan in there, got 66,013 miles, and there are no warning lights on the dashboard at all. Finally, just to show you, owner's manual pack and lock and wheel nut key, both here and present with the car. Right then, this is a quick road test video, and this is for a Honda CR-V, and it's a 1.6 EX diesel automatic. The car's registered MD65RZM and mileage of 66,013 miles recorded. The reason we do all of our videos, and especially this road test section, is to ensure that if anyone's online looking at any of our cars, they actually get to see the cars we're advertising in operation. And the reason we feel it's important is very simple. We have been to see many cars over the years which have looked perfectly good in photographs and descriptions, only to get them find out it's got a fundamental issue which shows up whilst you're driving, so hence that's why we do it. We also do it on these very quiet country roads very close to our premises, and this actually forms part of the road test route we take our customers on, so hopefully then will be representative of what you'd feel yourself should you be offered a test drive in the car. So coming to the car, obviously clearly been very well looked after. All of its servicing right up to the service we've done has been done by the same Honda dealership all throughout its life, and it shows because the car's just feels as tight as a drum. And without wishing to be a complete spoiler, it literally, and I hate saying it because it's such a cliche, but it literally drives like new. It just feels so tight and solid on the road in every single way. Engine push button start on the EXs starts instantly. It settles to completely smooth, even idle, without any warning lights on the dashboard at all relating to the engine or any other part of the car, and temperature gauge running at a third, which is exactly where it's meant to be on a Honda vehicle. The engines are fabulous diesels. It's very powerful. I think it's 160 horsepower or so. Twin turbo, and it really picks up and goes. It's got a lot of thrust to it, but it's docile, it's tractable. It's not a one-trick pony where it's all or nothing. It's got a broad spread of power as well, and when you're on the move, it's very smooth and quiet, especially when cruising. It's accompanied by this brilliant automatic gearbox, 9-speed automatic diesel, automatic gearbox, incredibly quick shifting, very slick in operation, lovely to use. I love the gear lever. When you're manoeuvring around, it's just a little flick forward, flick back. Really nice to use. You can use the paddles. In all honesty, I've owned a couple of these and I've never used them, but they are there and they do work, so I'm sure someone finds a use for them. But all engine, gearbox, all in perfect order. Steering on the car, again, the whole feel of a CR-V is just incredibly car-like, way before others kind of latched on the fact that you couldn't get away with making cars like this feel like commercial vans to drive. And it starts with the steering and the chassis, really, because the steering's beautifully weighted, very direct and accurate, but its weighting makes the car feel very solid and secure on the road. It isn't meant to be a sports car. I've heard, it really riles me, but some motoring press of the videos, it's not very exciting to drive. Well, no, it isn't. I'm not going to pretend it is. It's not a car you're going to be throwing around corners, trying to exit with oversteer. It's just ridiculous. Its design criteria, because it's the best-selling SUV in the world, so I think Honda may understand their customer base better perhaps than these people. It's got a it's 3 degrees outside, crikey, I didn't realise it's so cold. They just want to give you a very comfortable car that goes through corners beautifully. It doesn't keel over and flop about and lurch. It feels very tight, and the steering is part of that. It's just very fluid in its feel. And as I said, it also feels incredibly tight on the road. Tracks absolutely dead straight without any vibrations at this speed or any speed up to the legal limit. The chassis, as I said, it's got this beautiful compromise between allowing enough compliance to give you a very comfortable, and it is a very comfortable ride, but when you go through corners, where they're sort of quicker ones or sort of low speed maneuvers like this, you don't get that kind of lurching that you get with some cars. They kind of literally fall over themselves. Brilliantly done. Also, whilst I'm going up this section of the road, which is why I try and time it for that, this road surface is akin to the surface of the moon. It's awful, and I'm just listening out for any kind of clonks or rattles from underneath the car that shouldn't be there, and there's absolutely nothing at all. It's as tight as you can possibly imagine. Brakes on the car, just going to give them a good shove, maybe hold on to things, but really powerful brake pedal in the car. The keys just come flying off the seat there. What I'm looking for in particular, especially on automatics actually, is any kind of pulsing or vibrations to the brake pedal, and there's nothing at all. It's absolutely perfect. Finally, coming inside the car, first things first, brilliantly put together. They are beautifully made cars, not a hint of a squeak or a rattle from the interior, and that's common for this generation CR-V. They are wonderfully made, and again, don't believe what some motoring press say. They really are frustrating. Its build quality isn't squidgy plastics. You can have squidgy plastics, and then within a couple of years they can be rattly, they can look heavily worn. Honda, again, because they understand that this is going to be a family car, so things will get spilled and dropped and knocked and that kind of stuff, so they make this stuff down here quite hard, so you can clean it off very easily. Got some more soft type stuff up here. It's brilliantly thought out. It's also got this gorgeous ivory leather interior, which I love, which I understand won't be for everybody, but its advantages outweigh in theory any disadvantages it might have. On cold winter's days like today, you get in the car, you're not met with that icy cold feel inside the car. Also on dull days, it really does brighten up the interior to give you, it just lifts the spirit when you're inside, instead of sort of gets inside, black, everything's black inside, and sort of quite oppressively so. So it really does lift the interior in that sense. And on hot summer's days, of course, you don't get those burning seats where the back of your legs burn if you're wearing shorts or a skirt. They are heated, of course, so if it is cold inside, just click them on and that all works perfectly. The rest of the dash, beautifully designed, laden with equipment, but very, very simple and easy to use. Literally a few days in the car and you've mastered it. It's that simple. Sat nav, as you can see, working absolutely as it should. Dual zone climate control system, which offers you the option to have different temperatures side to side on the car. That also blows out ice cold air, by the way. We checked that in a nice warm workshop earlier on. Again, little things I love. When you press a button or twist the knob here, everything's got a wonderfully precise actuation, very satisfying damped feel to it. And that's not by accident, it's designed in. They want you to make the car feel as it is, beautifully engineered, beautifully put together, and designed to last for hundreds of thousands of miles with just regular servicing. That's exactly what it gives you. Dash in front, by modern standards, is wonderfully simple to look at and operate, look at and take the information in. It's got all the information you need and no more. Little information pod in the middle to give you any extra stuff you might require. Steering wheel, very small in diameter, leather bound, feels absolutely as new to hold. Can't see any obvious wear in it at all. Finally, coming to the four-wheel drive system. This is a four-wheel drive version of the car. You'll notice that there's no button to press to activate it, because you don't. It does it all for you. Again, Honda worked out really quickly that 99.9% of its customers will be driving as I am right now. We don't need four-wheel drive on. The problem with permanent four-wheel drive is, of course, it is permanently on, so it tends to use more fuel, put a lot more mechanical stress through the car, and chew up your tyres more quickly. This basically runs in front-wheel drive pretty much the whole time, which is the most efficient way to pull a car along. Should you have ever come across some sort of snow, ice or mud, something like that, the front wheels might lose grip, but quicker than you could ever react, it brings in the rear wheels to give you four-wheel drive. It is genius, and it works brilliantly. And as I said in all the videos, I own a CR-V diesel automatic, which I tow a caravan with, and this time of the year, there's some pretty muddy places to have to get across, and I've never come close to getting stuck with it. Its simplicity also gives it its reliability, by the way, because in 30 years selling Hondas, we've never so much as put a spanner on the four-wheel drive system on any of them. So it is robust indeed. As I said at the start of the video, the point of it, brief as it might be, just to show the car in operation, but to feedback anything I can, nothing. It literally, as I said earlier, it just feels like a brand new car to drive. It's that solid on the road.